Amidst a clutch of cordial reunions, one slightly corpulent figure stands out. Tomas Brolin cost Leeds £250,000 for every game he played during a rather unhappy spell in Yorkshire. Crystal Palace took him on initially for the cost of his bed and breakfast. Now they are paying him enough to afford his evening meal as well. He's one of 5 men facing former employers here and surely requires little motivation. Palace, though, have this extraordinary record of being the only senior club in English football without a home league win this season. And I'm afraid to say that if they fail to break that duck today, they're going to set a most unwanted club record. Leeds in the halved shirts, vivid colours from either side, and plenty of early boos for Tomas Brolin. And again. Doubtily dispossessed by Hopkin. And then blocking Kelly's clearance. Radaby. Harry Kewell. Has Robertson outside him. That's aimed more towards Hasselbank. Leeds manager is also facing one of his former clubs. He ended his playing career here and started his coaching career at Selhurst. Ribeiro forehead to forehead with Brolin. Now it's Robertson. Tackled well by Edworthy. And that knock to the head that Tomas Brolin sustained in an aerial challenge just a moment ago seems to have had a belated effect. He wandered around in a rather dazed fashion for a few seconds, and then his legs just seemed to go from under him. That was the clash of heads. It involved Ribeiro, that was the Leeds player, and Brolin initially seemed to be okay. And he's being led towards the dressing room. No suggestion of a substitution at this stage. But presumably he may need a stitch or two. Kelly. And Wallace is onside this time, only the keeper to beat! Straight through his legs. Rod Wallace scores in the Premiership for the first time in 2 months. On the transfer list or not, he remains a potent force. Palace down to 10 men with the departure of Brolin. And they clearly lost their concentration as the Swede was still being led along the touchline. Wallace kept his and scored as he pleased. Penny for Steve Coppell's thoughts at this stage. And on the far side of the pitch, complete with head bandage, comes one side's hero and the other side's anti-hero. Tomas Brolin is back with us after 6 minutes off the field. Palace are restored to their full complement. Hasselbank. Muscular figure, Hasselbank. Shot was deflected! It's 2! I'm sure the touch off the defender was what really defeated Kevin Miller. No sooner had Rod Wallace gone level with him as Leeds' top scorer than Hasselbank goes back in front. And it came off Andy Linnigan, a former Leeds player. Brolin. The boos are getting louder, if anything. Oh, and then the clearance from Kelly is completely done for his head bandage. He looks rather like a punch-drunk boxer. And this is not proving to be a happy return against his former employers. Just strikes me that having been off the field for the first goal, he probably thinks it's only 1-0 as well. In which case he's got a rude shock awaiting him.
First of all, Brolin in the first 5 minutes got an elbow to the face and was taken off. He's come back looking like something out of the Crimean War. He's got a great big white bandage around his head. Wallace went straight down from the kick, from that free kick, and he scored. Then Wallace got booked for not retreating 10 yards, so he's had a yellow card. And just as he joined me, Hasselbank has just scored number 2 for Leeds. So after about 14 minutes, it's Crystal Palace 0, Leeds 2.
So Tomas Brolin got just the welcome that you expected then from the Leeds players, Rodney?
Yes, he did. It was a whack to the head from Ribeiro, and he went down like he'd been hit by Lennox Lewis, and was actually off the field, Jeff, for 6 minutes, but he's back now and looking as big as ever.
Rod Wallace's first goal going wrong. They trail 2-0, Rodney Marsh, and Tomas Brolin is having a pretty difficult time, isn't he?
Unless you're Tomas Brolin or a Crystal Palace supporter, it's quite funny actually. Brolin has been in about 7 incidents already, including being off the field for 6 minutes, having a head wound, bandage with an enormous bandage. He came straight back on Jeff and got the ball flush in the face. The bandage fell off, blood streaming from his face. The trainer came on again and replaced the bandage with a little plaster, and he probably doesn't even know they're 2-0 down.
Probably just as well, I would think, in that case, Rodney. Thanks very much indeed there.
Tomas Brolin's medical update reads 3 staples and 2 stitches.
Was your reacquaintance with Leeds and George Graham as significant in your mind as it seemed to be in many other people's?
No, I don't think so. You know, it was a very important game for Crystal Palace today. We needed to have 3 points, and unfortunately we couldn't have these 3 points. And if I lost against Leeds or Everton or Liverpool, it doesn't matter, because every game is very important for us for the moment.